Hello folks and welcome back to Rome Total War. I'm Conostep and this is going to be part 7 of my Barbarian invasion campaign where I'm playing as the Goths. And for this episode, there's a lot that I want to talk about, so let's just kind of jump right down into it. So right off the bat, I imagine that the move that I want to make is to put this army on these boats. And then to immediately set sail for Massilia to try to cut the Roxolani off, just because even though they're not at war with the Franks, and I know it can be confusing because their faction colors are very similar shades of blue, in fact. So yeah, Franks have Massilia, the Roxolani have Arles. And the thing is that the Roxolani have only one other direction to expand out into, and that would be the Western Romans. So it's either them or the Franks, and the Roxolani just recently got a ceasefire with the Romans, so yeah, I'm not sure if they're going to be headed in that direction, so I really want to take this first. And the Franks only left one unit inside as well, so I'm kind of nervous about that. Now here's the thing with these boats, which is that it's this idea of, the fact that if you select their unit card, they have this enormous movement, and then if you don't do that, then you have very little movement. And this is including the army's movement speed to embark onto the boats. And I think, it's a tough thing to wrap my head around, because on one hand, I can understand that it takes a lot of time to put armies and troops and, horses on boats, and this can reflect that time that's being spent on that. But then there's other things with the naval movement which really do bother me, such as the fact that when you put artillery on boats, and that's slower for some reason, and it's like, why would that be slower? It's powered by wind, So I'm very tempted to do this going forward in my Rome campaigns. I don't like doing kind of cheaty things. I don't like abusing systems, and it can be difficult to determine exactly what the developers intended, how did they intend the game to be played. So I am of two minds with this. It's not a simple decision for me. I'm very tempted, at least for this situation, to kind of just go for it. I'm kind of in a hurry, but then of course if I allow myself to do it now, then it can be a thing, later on. But I'm curious, let me know what y'all think about this. So I'm going to come over here to try to land on the shore here, so I can get there next turn. There's a Roman boat in the water, but it's just one boat. There's some troops on board, so I could fight it, but yeah, they can just hang out there. And there's a Roxolani boat as well, but I have 6 boats, so I should be fine. And I have my full army. And yeah, they can hang out there, and then I can bring up board another army as well. I have another army coming up. These guys need to get retrained in Terrico. Can I get the archers here? No, that's why I brought these archers. Right, because I can't retrain archers in Terrico. Got it. That's fine. And then I am training up another low tier army to guard my mountain passes against the Roxolani, just to kind of keep them honest. And that brings me to something that I need to really... I've been kind of ignoring it, kind of hoping that the problem goes away on its own, or at least doesn't become an issue. But the thing is that these settlements are having public order issues. And it's not really because the populations are so huge. I did exterminate all of them when I did conquer all of them. So Terrico and Salamantica are both large cities. That's the tier 4 city, and to get up to a tier 5, it's required, I believe it's 24,000, correct? So it's 12,000 for tier 4, 6,000 for tier 3, and 2,000 for tier 2. Is that what it is? So, we're sitting at 19,000 here in Terrico, and we need to get up to 24,000 to get up to tier 5. And so we're not seeing so Squalor 50% seems pretty insane. Is that really? Because I thought Squalor was when your population was sort of exceeding your administrative capabilities. That's kind of what I thought. And actually, like, and I've looked into this into the game code to see if this, you know, if I can find some answers to this. But health buildings don't seem to reduce squalor in any way. They're just giving you a health bonus, which increases public order. But then they also increase population growth, which, you know, makes squalor worse in the long run. So it's a bit tricky. So I'm a little confused by the 50% squalor in Terrico. If we're below the threshold for a huge city, so is it just that much squalor just because it's, you know, a lot of people, even though we're beneath the threshold? Yeah, it's hard to, I don't know. I don't really understand that one. And then we have unrest. Now, I've had a spy hanging out here for a while because, again, it's my understanding that, well, I do know this. I do know that spies can cause an unrest in enemy settlements or, you know, neutral settlements. So you can't kind of mess up allies or neutral factions or enemies, of course. And so he hasn't been finding any spies. So there could be a spy that's eluding him, correct? Like, right? But then, and again, I did look at this in my other campaigns. I was looking at like how much unrest is caused by each spy. Is it 10% or is it 5%? I can't quite remember. But like, so does that mean there's, what, like 3 spies here hanging out in Terrico that I can't find? Because unrest is also caused, the only other thing that I can think of that causes unrest, which is, do settlements come with our unrest when you first capture them? And then that sort of dissipates over time? That was my impression. I don't know the exact numbers on that, but that's how I understand that to work. So that can't be the case though, because we've been here for a while now. So that can't be what that is. And I don't have any unrest in any other settlement. It's just Terrico, which, you know, just kind of makes me think that it's spies, right? Because I took these settlements later. I mean, I did retake that one and then I took that one later on. So yeah, that wouldn't be from like newly conquered, right? That would be from spy, right? That's the only thing I can think of. Oh, no, actually, no, there are general traits that cause unrest. That's right. Or character traits. Okay, so that's right. That's a thing. Let me just kind of peek through this. So I'm not seeing any issues here, and then you don't have any characters. There's no characters here. Agents.
At your service.
Oh, can I not look here? There you are. So, yep, you don't cause. Do these guys even cause unrest? And like, that'd be stupid if they did, right? Get out of my city. It's all you, isn't it? You suck. You're a bad faction leader, but you're my only choice. Yeah, I was looking at your traits before I started recording, and he's trouble. Is it all coming from him though? -1 order among governed Christians, which is weird because he's Christian. Yeah, hugely superstitious is weird. -2 morale sucks. Doubts about God suck. That's another -1 morale. Dislikes pagan ways. So there's +1 unrest right there. And so that might account for the 10% of unrest. So let's see if we can put this together and see if there's another 20% in here from unrest. -2 from law. Okay. And then, yeah, penalty on tax income, but a bonus on trade income. Law bonus, hey, there's something. Extravagant is another tax penalty. Personal security. Firm personal morality. It's another +1 to unrest right there. And another +1 to law as well, which is confusing. So, okay, so we're getting at least 2 points of unrest from him.
General.
From what I can see. Okay, so that accounts for some of it. So that would kind of indicate to me that there is still a spy here. Maybe, and we just haven't found him yet. I have a spy and an assassin waiting for this guy to pop out, and I can kill him. Maybe switching up spies, or putting this spy in, just kind of like
On my way.
maybe two sets of eyes will help find him. Yeah, let's try that. So anyway, so the point is, I haven't even gotten to the point yet. The point is, I'm thinking about trying to convert these places to Christianity just because they seem like better long-term things to do, because they provide a bit more benefits, because you can get tier 4 and tier 5 churches. You can't do that for the pagan shrines and temples. So they only go up to a tier 3, whereas the churches you can get up to a tier 4, as you can see there. Now, I was looking at this, and it's not that big of an increase, not as much as you would kind of think, or at least as much as I thought. And so we're looking here, like at the tier 3, right? And the conversion bonus, 15%, that's the same as the other pagan stuff. 15%, 15%. As far as happiness, so 15%, yes. Same as, nope, okay, so there's a 5% increase over the tier 3 for ties. Okay, so there's a 5% increase at the tier 3, so that's true. But then it caps out at a 15% happiness bonus. That doesn't increase at all. What you get instead at a tier 4 and a tier 5 are law bonuses, which are nice because that reduces corruption and then that increases your money. And then the population growth ain't so bad either in this case, just because I'm going to be exterminating everyone, and having the churches to kind of give me that pop growth isn't the worst thing. So yeah, that's the idea there. So that's a total 15% increase if we're including that 5% increase for the tier 3 plus the 10% increase from law. So yeah, that's a total of 15%, which helps. It does. And then an additional, you can build this building, the Hermitage, which you can get once you have the tier 3 Christian church. This one. And that's an extra 5% bonus. So that's 20% from all Christian buildings of an increase over the pagan buildings. And then, of course, this also allows me to train Aryan priests, which is a buffing unit on the battlefield. I definitely want to get these guys. Cool little buffing unit. I doubt they cause fear like the druids do and the screeching women do in the base game. But they do, yeah, inspire nearby troops. So I want to get these guys with their rad drip. Get them going. But yeah, that's going to be but the thing is, and again, I'm kind of talking through this because I'm still learning these systems myself, with a lot of help from you folks. I was able to wrap my head around it when playing my Sassanid campaign, and just kind of talking out loud about these things helps me sort of understand these things. So bear with me, but if you've made it this far, then you know that this is kind of what this channel is about, is me learning these things and really learning that, try to, as deeply as I can, but also keeping a broad scope for this. So how to convert something that's all the way pagan so again, for those of you who are new to this and don't understand these things, so this is the breakdown of religious conversion. Okay, so this is me seeing that I'm 99% pagan here in this settlement, which means that if I just build a church, I'm going to get 99% unrest from paganism, which is probably going to lead me straight to revolt. And therefore, you want to convert up to a certain amount first, like say maybe 50% Christianity before I build the Christian church. So how do I do that without having a church? Because those churches increase the conversion rate, but how do I do that without that? Well, with characters for one thing, and it's weird that in this game we don't get religious agents, which is really bizarre. Like we have religious agents in Medieval 1, but not in this game, which is really weird. But yeah, you get the traits for your spies, diplomats, and your family members and generals, but not your assassins. They're not converting people. They're just straight mugging people. So one way to do this is with your characters and your people like that. That works, and that's what we're getting here. So we're at actually 40% conversion rate. We were until we moved these guys out. Yeah, these guys were bringing some more Christianity to Terrico before we moved them out. But we were still at, you know, paganism was still outpacing us, and therefore we were never going to outconvert just based on those characters, having those characters there. And then the religious buildings are giving a 15% conversion, and then neighboring regions. So you can convert through osmosis, essentially. And that's why it's so hard when you're surrounded by pagan areas. So, like, these places are all pagan. Arles is pagan, and then Bertigala is pagan as well. And then, of course, all of Iberia is pagan. And so that leads us to an area where it's like, okay, so how do you convert when everything is pagan? That's a really tough thing. And I think that's... See, if I can get... First off, I have to get rid of... My faction leader has to leave. That's going to get rid of 20% unrest. So that's going to help. And then... So my garrison's only at 10%. So I need to increase my garrison. And I know peasants in Barbarian Invasion only account for 5% garrison bonus rather than the 10% garrison bonus that normal units get. That's a change that they made in a Barbarian Invasion, which I think is a really good change. But still, it's kind of like a little too late, just because the upkeep still makes peasants just a better investment for garrison duty. 33 versus 150 for a runaway slave spearman. Because they're the same unit size. So they're both the 120-man unit size. But, you know, you're paying 270 to recruit and then 150 for upkeep compared to 81 to recruit and 33 for upkeep. Like, the peasants are just the way to go. Until you max out your entire settlement with 20 units of peasants. And then, would that be... Yeah, that'd still be cheaper to do that. So maybe that's just the way. Maybe I just have to get that garrison bonus up to that 80%. And I was thinking, since this is a large city, and to get rid of culture penalty, I could build the huge city level of administrative building, which would reduce my culture penalty. And then I was looking at this and I was like, wait, why don't I have any culture penalty here? You know, whereas I have culture penalty here, 40%, 40%, 40%, 45%, and then I was like, wait a minute. There's no culture penalty in my capital. And I don't know if I ever knew that. This really caught me by surprise. I was like, oh, wait a minute. So, that's interesting because I was thinking that I wanted to reduce my culture penalty to help Terrico shoulder the burden of converting to Christianity eventually. And so now I'm thinking, is I'm going to be taking Massilia, and then I was thinking I was going to enslave the people there and have them come to Terrico to get this up to a huge settlement as quick as possible. There's only 1% pop growth, but if we enslave Massilia, we can, I don't know how many people would come over, but a few, I suppose, and then we could reduce that culture penalty, but that's not going to matter anymore. So that's not a solution to that. So I'm wondering, would it be better if I started my conversion in Salamantica? It's another large city, and it might be easier to reduce my issues here because it's so small. Like, I only have 10% squalor and 4.5 population, so that's probably why, right? And that's the problem though, is that to reduce that culture penalty, again, I think like 20 to 25% of that is coming from that administrative building, which I can't tear down. I have to, you know, build up past it, right? And let's see here. So how could I do this? I could make it my capital. And I already have 60% garrison here. Again, garrison is just based on, you know, the garrison compared to how many people live here. So it's easy to get up to that 80%. Whereas, you know, in Terrico, I would need a lot more, you know, I would need pretty much a full peasant garrison. Man, I'm kind of thinking that that's maybe the way to go here. But then is like Terrico just gonna fall apart if I make Salamantica my capital? It's on low taxes, and if I make it, yeah, it's gonna be tough. I mean, the good news is that once my faction leader leaves this province, that 20% unrest is going to go away, and that could actually even out the 20% that they are going to get from distance to capital, because I'm assuming it's going to be the same amount, right? It's going to be 20% distance to capital for Terrico once that happens. Yeah, that's probably the way to go. Have him leave. Just keep pumping out, peasants here, whatever. Try to get that garrison higher. Maybe try to reduce that squalor also by pumping out those peasants. And the only problem with that plan, though, is that it's easier to keep a lot of characters and agents here to convert this area because this is my border area. You know, whereas here, this province, if I zoom in... Oh, wait a minute. I'm zooming... Wait a minute. I'm looking at this province. Yeah, man, the provinces are so weird. Okay, so this one ends... When does this province end? Here? I'm looking at this mini-map down here. And then, yeah, so I guess this province ends here. Okay, so, right. Okay, so yeah, Terrico just bordered the entire northern part of Iberia. Yeah, that's the only issue is that, yeah, I'm gonna want, like, you know, my characters down here to convert this. Where are we at here? So it's 30% neighboring regions and religious buildings. So I would have to get at least 35% to start recruiting, but ideally higher to recruit faster. To convert faster. Now, I've been looking at these for a long time. I've just been looking and not talking for a while, trying to figure these out and doing the math in my head and trying to figure out a solution here because I'm almost wondering, can I destroy the pagan shrine and then start building the Christian stuff here in Salamantica without converting anything first? Without converting the population first? Because let me see, because hold on, that's not the screen. What's the conversion rate for the first Christian thing? It's going to be... Yeah, it's only 5%. Oh, God. It's really tough because... As is, I mean, I lowered taxes and I filled the recruitment queue up so that I could get 80% garrison. I even reduced squalor a bit, did I? No, that stays the same. Okay. But yeah, I just, filled up the queue and I got that up to 80% for the garrison. And then if I made this to the capital, that would reduce that 45% culture penalty, and then it would also get rid of that 20%, so 65%. That would be essentially added to this, right? So I would get up to, past 200%, but I think 200% is the cap, right? So then if we knock down the pagan shrine, that means that this is also going to go away once we build the Christian shrine, which can just happen in one turn, right? And so that 10%, so from faction leaders, religion differs from the settlement's official religion, that'll go away as well. So I think that all would allow things to kind of even out in regards to public order, but that doesn't mean that we would be able to start converting just based on that first tier Christian shrine. That would have to continue to build up to a tier 2, a tier 3, you know, a tier 4 before we can start outpacing this. Well, no, because no, the religious buildings from the right, the conversion rate from the pagan shrine would be gone. So it wouldn't take that much. Well, it still would take like a tier 4 to outpace just the neighboring regions conversion. So we still would need some characters to get inside here to help out. Now we do have a Christian here in Carthago Nova. Does he have any bad shit that makes people unhappy? Heartless ruler. Okay, that's a point of influence. Okay, that helps. Anything else? No. Can Carthago Nova survive without him? Yes, they can. Because I filled their recruitment queue as well. Just trying to do what I can here. Increase that garrison over time, I suppose. And then if we get his 5% Christian stuff over... How big is this settlement? Do I have to go... Where's the line? Why aren't there lines here? Aren't there lines in this game? Like there are, but then they like stop. I don't know. Anyway, so you go that way. So we're on the line here with you, but you're kind of a naughty boy. Like you are mildly extravagant. Yeah, mindful management. Actually, no, people are pissed off because you're Christian and the place is pagan. Right, yeah. So that 5% would go away, actually. So is that going to mitigate it, or what? Actually, yeah, people are happier without you. Okay. So let's get you up here. And are you being counted now? Is your stuff being counted? Yes, so you are in the region now. So there's going to be a 5% being applied. But, you know, it's not going to counter this. Unless I build that. Yeah, I think. The question, though, is, you know, again, can Terrico survive that? And that is... I was able to reduce Squalor by 5%, again, just by filling the queue. And that's going to continue to increase. I could also throw these guys in there. I was going to have them just guard the pass, but like...
Orders. Splitting the troops. Out of...
So what are we at now? 30%. And then throw these guys in. 40%. And we have peasants being trained up as well. So yeah, low taxes, 110% when this dude leaves. And I think I'm going to have to bring... He's Christian, so I could just bring him back here to help out with the conversion. That's an idea.
Yes.
I could have all my Christian dudes come back this way. So you're Christian, you're Christian, you're Christian, and then you're pagan.
Yes. Yes.
So I just have the one pagan general, the rest of them are Christian.
General.
Huh. I kind of wanted that heavy cav to join the fight. You know? that seems kind of important. But also converting the populace seems important as well. Let's see here.
Lord.
I feel like you're going to be doing more harm than good in your own home territories. I feel like you need to be converting.
Yes. Yes.
But maybe just have the 15% conversion from my faction leader plus these two guys that are moving up on their way. It says 15%. That's going to be eliminated. And then we just build that church up. And then slowly over time that will convert. And we could also get another warlord. Maybe he'll be Christian as well. Most of my guys are coming out Christian, which is kind of interesting. Maybe that's just because it's coming from the faction leader, maybe?
Lord.
Yeah. So that's, yeah. So then, okay. So now the question is, can we survive? We survive this. I feel like we have to wait until my faction leader leaves the settlement
Yes.
or leaves the province before we can make this not our capital. Yeah, I don't think I can make this move in this turn. I think I have to wait till at least next turn. So let's go ahead and build a tavern for now to get an extra 5% population or happiness bonus. Yeah, happiness. And then I guess get a practice range after that. But because again, even though I don't have a culture penalty now, when this is no longer my capital, then I will be getting a culture penalty. So
Orders.
yeah, that's going to be the idea there. Now I have been looking over some diplomacy tutorial guide stuff for Medieval 2, and because I can get some clues about how diplomacy works in this game, I've come to the idea that maybe, so like I've been giving the Roxolani a lot of money, like a lot of money, and it hasn't really gotten me anywhere. So, or at least like, superficially, it hasn't gotten me what I've wanted. Now, our relationship may have improved, that's great, but I want to be getting military access at some point to their land so that I can just go over land instead of, using the navies all the time. And I've given them thousands of denarii. Now, at this point, maybe what I can do is just kind of... Now, again, according to the stuff that I was reading, was to keep your relations pretty good with people. It doesn't take much. Once you've given that, the example used in the guide was to say, like, maybe 1,000 or 2,000 denarii. And I'm like, oh, I've been given, like, thousands of denarii. Like 1,000 per turn for quite a while, So I've given them a lot. And according to that guide, that indicates that that's all it takes to get that relationship level up pretty high. And then from there, to keep it at that level, it just takes like 100 denarii like per turn, or every other turn, or something like that. So what I'm thinking is if I can try to offer military access and then offer a tribute, a low amount, like 100 denarii, but then do it, I don't know, like 20 turns. And would that make them pretty happy? And no, so they're not into that. I wonder if I offered that as a gift. And they might not take it in this turn. I might have to try again next turn, but let's just see. So same offer, but offered as a gift instead. And that's another thing that's kind of confusing, right? Because it's like, what do I offer as a gift and what do I offer as a deal? So same thing, offering military access and tribute. So as a gift, will they take that? And so okay, so right. So if you're just giving them something, just offer it as a gift, and then they won't refuse, right? It's not that they've done that. I'll try again next turn. Maybe I can get military access now that I've, given them stuff and whatever. And then we do have a new ally, the Lombardy. We could talk to the Slavs. Let's see, offer. So they must still be nomadic because we can't get map information from them. So let's just offer map information and try to get money in return. Something simple, something like that. Just get, whatever, 1,000 denarii. And yeah, they took it. So that does help. And we can also talk to the Lombardy and... I'll just give them... I'll just pay tribute to them as well, just to try to keep them on my good, try to help them out. And yeah, keep them on the good side. So make regular tribute. I'll just do like 10 turns. Just something simple, 100 denarii. And offer it as a gift. Yeah, there you go. Right, because you've offered it, if you do it like as a diplomacy thing, they think that they have to like match it or something. So that makes them think like, oh no, I can't give anything in return. Okay, so that's how that works.
Ready.
maybe I'm finally ready to end this turn. Okay, let's give it a whirl. And Roxolani better not attack the Franks. They're mine. Alright, Western Roman
Aye, aye, Captain.
dudes. And yeah, let's declare war.
Besieging settlement.
And Sapien point, so I can do the Sapien, yeah. So this has been brought up to me a few times, probably by the same person. I think that yeah, Selhanscape, appreciate the advice, buddy. I know that you've said it a few times, but Sapien, like, it's something that's really confused me, and I keep thinking about the defense, you know, structures for the settlements and the structure or the settlement levels itself. And I keep thinking about that, and I keep forgetting that, well, units just, some have that trait, can sap. And to me, I've overlooked that so much because to me, I, for some reason, maybe it's just because like in the base game, I felt like every infantryman could sap as long as they were not a phalanx unit. And now I'm thinking about that, I'm like thinking, wait, is that even true? Because I feel like I've had phalanx spearmen, not pikemen, but phalanx spearmen as the Egyptians sapping. So I don't think that even like that preconceived idea was true as well. So yeah, it's just one of those things I really overlooked. So, and I forgot to look, but I guess that when I was sieging before, I couldn't build Sapien points because I didn't have troops. So I wonder who did I have? Did I have like runaway slave spearmen and they can't sap, perhaps? Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting how that's a thing that is limited to certain troop types that might indicate their level of professionalism, perhaps. Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool idea. So let's get some towers in and some ladders. There we go. And that's a lot of siege equipment just to take out one unit, but that is fine. And that other army, did they just kind of...
Moving into position on my...
Yeah, so they're not that far away, but they can't reach me in this turn either. So I can take Massilia. Sweet. Awesome. So 12,000 in the treasury, and then Cordoba, you gonna fucking chill out, guys? Garrison 20%, so that'll be increasing, I guess, over time, and Squalor will be reducing as I take people out of the settlement.
Yes.
All right, I think I need to get these guys. Yeah, I need to get them. I need to retrain them, and I need to bring the boats back. So I guess. So yeah, I guess there's no hurry exactly.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and get these guys out and bring y'all in. But well, except, yeah, you're all coming with.
Move out.
You're all gonna come with, and then. All right, let's unqueue these peasants, and then retrain these dudes, and not the Goth raiders, because I'm just gonna bring them down south because I can't.
General.
This is just trying to give them some like upgrades or something.
Out of move.
Then I have these Goth raiders.
Move out.
Yeah, they can come on over.
Orders. General.
And then you cross the border,
March.
and is that gonna get rid of that unrest? What in the hell is going on here? So he wasn't causing that unrest because he wasn't actually in the settlement. So there's actually some frickin' spies in here that my own two spies aren't finding for some reason.
General.
Oh, I wonder if any of these guys would have. Should I bring my faction leader in, because he has that personal security, improves the chances of detecting and foiling assassination attempts. But that's just assassins. That's not. So public security is for spies, correct? And he doesn't have anything that increases public security. Yeah.
Yes.
That's annoying. I don't know what to do about that.
General.
now I am wondering if I can get the military access from the Roxolani. In this case, though, I can't, make it as a gift. I have to, give them money for this. So I can try 1,000 military access. Maybe maybe we're cool now. And no, so they're not cool at all. I'll just try again next turn. And maybe a tribute again, like maybe just kind of going a little bit of money, like say like another 100 or so. But then for like a lot of turns, I don't know, 20, another 20 or 30 or something like that. Maybe they value that tribute more over a longer term. Yeah, not quite sure. Anyway, for now, for this turn, let's go ahead and drop that save. And then let's keep heading on yet. Because, yeah, there's the spy. Let's kill him. Please, let's kill him. Man, yeah, that's the issue. I keep looking at the numbers and I'm like, I can't get rid of... I got another spy to try to get rid of that, to find that spy, and I guess that's what worked. So can I kill this guy? 18% chance. That sucks. That's why. He's so good. That's why. And he missed his target. Alright, well my guy didn't die. So at least there's that. And did we get... So how's our unrest now? So so he was causing all 30%. That goddamn freaking high valor spy. Damn, dude. So let's train up another assassin, in case that one dies, I guess. And then let's go... Yeah, let's keep retraining these guys. Okay, so it's gonna be one more turn of retraining after that. Let's get them down here.
Out of moves. Yes.
Then you come up, Cordoba. You're gonna be cool. Barely, just frickin' barely. Yeah, still a 20% garrison for Cordoba.
Orders.
And then you're not even in that province, so there you are. So what's our conversion rate up to now? 10%? So one of those characters isn't in the province. See, this is the... So it's you. You're not in... Okay, you're not in yet. Alright, so it's just these guys that are in. Got it. Yeah, man, down to 5,700. I am losing money. And yeah, if we can kill that frickin' agent. I know sometimes they can just kind of die by trying to re-enter the settlement, right? So that maybe could happen as well. Yeah. Yeah, assassin missed target, but we'll see. I wonder also, can agents, like, if you just stand on the bridge, can you block him from getting inside?
Yes.
His armies can get past agents. Ooh, I wonder what Frankish diplomat, eh? Wonder what you want to talk about, because yeah, this army doesn't seem interested in heading back to Massilia. They're like, nah, you can have it.
Aye, Captain. Yes, Captain.
So yeah, we're not gonna hop on the boats yet, because we have one more turn. One more turn, alright. Well, since that spy is not in Terrico, I feel like this is like my chance. I feel like I have to go for it. And make Salamantica my capital to try to get this going here. It's a lot of squalor, 50%. I'll go back to training peasants as soon as I'm done retraining these guys, but yeah. And I could build a practice range because I can also reduce the oncoming, the oncoming culture penalty as well. I don't have a lot of money left though, Jesus. Ay. Yeah, losing 4,700 per turn. That is bad. Yeah, it'll be nice taking Massilia. So I guess I don't need to enslave Massilia. Well, let me think about this. Because Terrico isn't getting that culture penalty now, but it will be, once it's no longer my capital. Therefore, I will want to, have it build up to a huge settlement so I can get that administrative building. Yeah. Tough though, because, that's, not going to help with the squalor, but garrison's only at 35%. So by continuing to train peasants, I feel like I can maybe offset that. So you're my only place that has characters inside, right? Yeah.
Yes. Yes. General.
Yes. Okay. So, all right. Let's give it a whirl. Let's give it a whirl. Let's see how we do here. Let's go down. Where is it? How do I do this again? Set this settlement to be the faction's capital. Here we go. And how upset are you? You're chilling. You're totally fine. Why are they not that upset? I'm confused. I'm like, wait, what? So they added the 20% distance to capital. And were they... Was it not... Was it... There's no culture penalty? I thought they were going to be getting a culture penalty. I'm so confused. I don't understand. Roman mines, Roman proconsul's palace, Roman walls, Roman dockyard, army barracks, arena. Why am I not getting a culture penalty in Terrico? Is that not going to kick in till next turn or what? But even if it did, it would still show like the flashing icons, right? I don't know. I'm very confused. Anyway, so let's go ahead and tear down. So I can survive this, right? I have 165%. Yeah, I think I can. I think I can. I think I could do this. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's do this. Tear down the sacred circle of Agni. So yeah, 95%, but I'm still at 70% public order. That's not bad. One turn to build that Christian shrine. So let's get that going. And that's going to get me up to 15% total. Yeah, that's not including that religious building. And then another 5% coming from him when he finally does enter this settlement. And yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there eventually. Yeah. I could even build a tavern just to kind of give me another little boost to happiness. But I'd rather just go shrine, 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 Christian, Christian, Christian until the deed is done, you know? Let's go ahead and give this a whirl, and let's take Massilia, shall we? And even the stone wall's a little bit damaged, so I wonder if that's just going to mean is there going to be just a hole in the wall? Not sure, but in any case, we will have enough to take the settlement. It's even tempting just to auto-resolve, but... it's very tempting. It's very tempting to auto-resolve, but let's just do it. Try to reduce our casualties.
Battle is an easy thing. What's hard is the look on your woman's face when you are a weakling. But I see no one here who must worry about that. Now set your minds on the task to come, and when the moment comes, gut your target like a fish.
Well, there is the damaged wall, and no, it's not completely broken open, so we can't quite fit inside. And this is a cool settlement, a bit pagan on the inside, and some little Roman stuff there as well. Awesome Temple of Mithras. I think that's Roman, right? Yeah, cool stuff going on here. So this is interesting because, so like, yeah, it's a weird map because, you know, the woods are so close to the settlement, which is interesting. And I'm just noticing just now that I can't deploy my siege equipment outside of or inside of the woods, which really does limit my deployment area. That's very interesting. Like, could I even bring them over here? Is that possible? It's weird. Yeah, they don't seem to be able to be deployed over here. So I wonder, I mean, because they're in the woods here, they're not going to get stuck, are they?
Spears.
Because I can't get the ladders deployed either. Well, it's a good thing I have that sapping point because, yeah, if all my siege stuff just gets stuck right here, that'd be really silly. But yeah, let's go ahead and just turn our fire at will on our towers on. And yeah, we have it. Yeah, this isn't where I want to deploy, but if I can't, yeah, I can't get out of the woods. Oh no, I just can't go there. Okay. Okay, that's fine then. Well, let's see here. I don't really want to go there. Yeah, let's just go over there. I am really liking this settlement layout here. It's pretty neat. I don't know, I don't remember seeing anything like this in the base game. Because I know that you can have barbarian settlements that, you know, end up getting civilized and built up and whatnot, but I don't remember this exact, I don't know, I don't remember these buildings and these layouts and having like streets like this, so I wonder if this is just unique to Barbarian Invasion. Yeah, it's cool though, I like it. My archers and swordsmen are now in position and we are firing on the Francisca Hirbon. So yeah, it's time to see what these guys are made out of, and I imagine they're pretty sturdy. Axeman, bonus versus armor. Or I'm assuming they have a bonus versus armor. Now I'm going to want to time this right because my swordsmen do have war cry, so let's kind of go now and try to get at least a 4-second charge up or wind up going here. And then that's probably good, so let's get my guys on ceasefire here and then here. And then, yep, you go in, and then you go in as well. And they're withdrawing, but they didn't break, which is interesting. Alright, so we killed their... Nope, there he is.
You have killed the enemy general. Now his men show fear. Now they may turn and run. Attack!
Okay,
attack!
so now they're coming back in. They don't have any guys on the plaza, right? And you guys better not be shooting. Okay, there we go. End the battle. And yeah, we still lost 18 men, eh? Okay. But yeah, now Massilia belongs to us. That feels good. And yeah, I would still say I want to enslave. 2,900 population dispersed. God, we could really use a bit more money. But I mean, this is already being exterminated, so it's not that much. It's 3,800. And they probably need the population. I mean, honestly, for more, you know, long-term money, you know, for that tax money, it's probably better to enslave and get that, and get Tarek up to a huge settlement. I think I have to stick with the plan. Yeah, let's do that. Now, we're not going to be getting that slave... Do we get that slave trade resource overseas, I wonder? So retinue expands barbarian slave, +1 command when fighting against barbarians, and a 5% bonus to cash gain from looting, nice. And then slave trader, so 5% bonus to cash gain from looting, and 5% bonus to all trade income as well. Alright, I'll take it. Now, are we getting that slave? Yeah, we are. Okay, so that does count overseas as well. Nice, we're getting a slavery pop growth bonus. As well as, I'm assuming, yeah, it looks like we got that. So, yeah, we're not that far off from 24,000. Yeah, that's not too shabby. And I wonder... So, minus 1,800. So, yeah, we're still losing money. But from here... Let's go ahead and repair those walls. And let's retrain my dudes. And then, what do they have here? Public baths. So that's the tier 2. That's nice. Ooh, catapult range. Can I train catapults here? No. Okay, so yeah, just don't get them with my faction, right? That makes sense. Let's see, Royal Barracks. Okay, so we can't afford any of that stuff. I wonder, what do they have? So Awesome Temple of Mithras is going to be experience bonus to troops trained here. Which is nice, sure. So I can do that for these guys. Why can't I retrain my entire army then? because I already have that experience bonus. Perhaps. Okay, so I can consider... Yeah, so it is pagan. Interesting. I'm not going to be building anything here just because nothing seems too vital, and really, I think I'd rather just save up for the large stone walls next turn once these are fixed up, the tier 3 stone walls. And really, I think the idea is that once this army is retrained, which will be next turn, I believe, or maybe the turn after that, then I can pop them on these boats, bring them over to Massilia. They can then garrison, and then this army can move off to capture Mediolanium. And then while that's happening, I can also retrain, or I can start training basically like another low tier army, like just low tier, like not a full stack, just something to hold the walls really and delay anything. Again, these are my allies, but like, you know, just kind of some archers and some spears, kind of basic stuff, swordsmen, just to kind of hold the walls in the case of an attack. And then I can have my 2 attacking armies just kind of ravage Italy. And I think that is going to be the play. So let's go ahead and drop a save. End the turn. The Franks want a ceasefire. Interesting. Gosh. How much are they willing to pay me? Because I could accept it and then attack the Romans. Because I could use some money. It's interesting that they want a ceasefire because they're powerful, you know? It's so bizarre to me. Like, I can't get ceasefires with factions that have, like, nothing, you know? And then here are the Franks that are the most powerful faction on the map, and they're asking me for a ceasefire. That's so weird. Yeah, it's really bizarre. And I'm looking at... So just looking at the mini-map down here, it looks like I would need to... Can I zoom in? No. Zoom in. It looks like I would need to use my navy to get around the Frankish territory to get into Italy and fight the Romans. So they are kind of in my way, you know? And I don't think I want to take this. Unless they were to give me Mediolanium for it. I wonder, yeah, let's just kind of see a ceasefire and give me... shit. I don't know, is it called Mediolanium? Yes, it is. Okay, thank God. I know that some of the settlement names are different, so... phew, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll see. We have nothing to offer in return, and we must turn you down. Really? Okay, I mean... That felt fair to me. You know? So be it. I'll just take Mediolanium. Yeah, losing money. Jesus. Yikes. Aguila, confident commander. Where are you? Who are you? You're here. And... Oh, you're the guy... Okay, and you're Christian. Okay, thank God. Nice. Nice. Yeah, you're the guy that I just trained, really. Are you not wearing clothing, Aguila? For your portrait? That's a move. That's a vibe. Yeah, so we got that Christian shrine built up here. And should be getting, like, what, 25% conversion now? 20%, okay. 25% once you finally move into this goddamn territory. And let's check that again. Yeah, it's going to be 15, 20... Right, yeah. 25 once, yeah, next turn. Right, got it. So let's go ahead and build this Christian chapel, get that conversion rate up to 10%. Hell yeah, slowly but surely, we'll be doing it. Yeah, 5% Christian, there we go. That's the dream right there. That's what we're doing. Oh man, what a journey. We're getting there. Let's go ahead and retrain those guys. And we'll bring them to the front because they are important. And then are we ready? Okay, one more guy I need to retrain. That's fine. And And then let's just kind of recruit that. Oh, that's all our money. Shit. Wow, that's it. And can Spy go back inside? He did not. Okay, nice. So there's no Spy inside. But he's not visible either. So he's just gonna go somewhere else? Oh dear. Well, there's not much for me to do in this turn, but I could maybe get my assassin some practice in killing people here. What's your skill level again? 3? Oh shit, assassins... Oh, they can convert to Christianity. Oh, wow, that's weird. That's such a weird thing. So they can actually, like, talk to the populace and convert people.
Ready.
Okay, well, let's see if I can kill this guy. 64% chance, I'll take that risk. And we got him, nice. Nice. So, trait increase. So, what are you? Are you a 4 skill? 4 skill, nice, I'll take it. And yeah, it's tempting to, you know, cut costs, you know, right? That's where it's tempting to do.
Yes.
But you know, I mean, we're in a wartime economy, so yeah, we'll be losing money. I mean, the thing is that these agents, like, I'm really on the line here. I'm really, you know, on the knife's edge when it comes to, if that spy pokes his head up somewhere in one of these settlements, I need my own spies and my assassins to try to hunt him down. So if I put myself in a position where I disband my agents and then I go, oh no, I need them, but then I can't get them, and then my settlements start to destabilize, it's like, oh, that's really bad. And then same thing with my peasant queues as well. Kind of the same issue where it's like, okay, I kind of need that though. Ugh, you know? So, yeah, I think really the answer is just I gotta conquer more territory. And I have the tools to do that, I do. You know, I have this army that's gonna be hopping on these boats, and we'll be setting sail for Massilia. This army, as I said before, can go take more territory as well. So, we'll be okay. It's just gonna look ugly for a while. Yeah, so save succeeded. Let's do this. I wonder if I could actually demand tribute from one of my allies, you know? I don't know, that'd be kind of funny, but yeah, so we're in the negative, minus 1,000. It doesn't feel good, but oh, the hordes arrived. The Huns, eh? People have moved into your lands and may seek to sell. What? My lands are here? Where are the hordes? Oh, is it just one? Is it one guy? If they do, our people will be deprived of their lands, freedom, and homes by these outsiders. I don't know. I'm not worried about it. Based on what I'm seeing here. Is it just the faction leader? He's the only guy that's alive? I shouldn't be laughing. There's probably like a whole horde right behind him. Well, I mean, yeah, so my spy can't move around him, so it's annoying. Alright, marriage celebrations. That's good. Nice. So you got married. You're in Terrico. Got it. Nice. Alright. And Elfus, Master Hunter. +1 command when ambushing, and +1 to line of sight. And you are here. Okay. You probably got that from hanging out in the wilderness, be my guess. Alright, so no money to spend. Does not feel good, but that means we get to keep things simple. So these guys, and everyone except for the peasants. And then let's bring these archers here. Put them on the boats, and then peasants go inside, you guys go inside, and yeah, we're chilling. Yeah, we're gonna be okay there. Now, not a ton of like good fighting troops, but honestly, like not the worst either. And these archers are gonna move retrained. Can I get away with this? I can. And that, I feel like I want to move the swordsmen. They were meant to be up here, but I kind of feel like I need them here in Carthago Nova just for public order reasons, which feels haggard, but there you go. Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, if the Roxolani wanna front on me, you know, I got it's a little something here, and I do have generals as well that can kind of rush on over, maybe do something about it. How are we doing on conversion now? How's this looking? So 14%. And yeah, so we're outpacing paganism by 10%. All right. And that's going to increase next turn when this Christian chapel is finished as well. All right. Yes. Yes, it's a start. It's a start. And from there, yeah, we can make our move to either Cordoba, maybe Terrico first. Terrico might be a bit easier. Because right now it's getting Christianity from, yeah, just from osmosis, from that one settlement, or that one province of Lusitania. Yeah. Well, there is still work to do. That feels like a pretty good progress here. I know I spent a lot of time trying to figure out that religious conversion thing, but yeah, that was a lot for me. So yeah, I needed to think about that for a moment. And I just wanted to thank y'all as well for the help and the advice that y'all have been giving me. I feel like it's been a while since I've thanked y'all, and you know, shouldn't have been so long, because the advice continues to come on in, and it does help. It really does help me kind of wrap my head around these things. And yeah, it's always the numbers for me. I just, you know, I can kind of grasp some things, but numbers always kind of confuse me sometimes. So I appreciate the help with that. Help with the, you know, economy and figuring out that stuff. I always understand the basics, but again, the details do help me kind of have a deeper understanding of how things work. So yeah, I appreciate that. I don't take that for granted at all. And yeah, keep all the help coming on in. So that's going to be for this time. Before I go, I just wanted to say that if you're enjoying these videos and you would like to support the channel, then consider subscribing, liking, and sharing. It all helps immensely. So until next time, this has been Concept playing Rome Total War Barbarian Invasion. Thank you very much, and goodbye.